Donald Trump has people talking tonight. It is not about his money or investments. It's a fight over the 70-foot-tall flagpole at his Southland resort. The stars and stripes can be seen for miles flying over the Trump National Golf Course in Rancho Palos Verdes.
A 70-foot-tall flagpole on Trump National Golf Club in Rancho Palos Verdes has been in a standoff between Donald Trump and state officials. Mr. Trump talked to us by phone from New York.
Flag has been up for many, many years, and after many years, we're still looking to get final approval on it. They're having a hard time approving the American flag.
Councilman Jim Knight tells me over the phone it's not about lowering the flag, it's about honoring the rules and codes. Trump says he will do everything he can so that the flag stays the way it is.
I will fight for the American flag.
The Atlantic originally broke the story of how Donald Trump apparently called veterans and fallen soldiers suckers and losers. He has furiously denied it, and of course Fox News jumped in the morning with their Bert and Ernie and are expressing skepticism about the report.
Now, as Americans were preparing their turkeys and traveling to see their loved ones this Thanksgiving, the media were concerned with something much more important.
Leaving the White House to spend Thanksgiving in Florida.
West Palm Beach, where the president is spending his Thanksgiving holiday.
President Trump has arrived at his golf club that is here, and so it seems as though that is how he'll be spending the day today.
Newsweek published an article with this headline: How is Trump spending Thanksgiving? Tweeting, golfing, and more. But what the media didn't know is that the White House planned a top-secret trip to visit U.S. troops in Afghanistan.
There's nowhere I'd rather celebrate this Thanksgiving than right here with the toughest, strongest, best and bravest warriors on the face of the earth. We thank God for your health and all of the things that you've done. You are very special people, and you don't even know how much the people of our country love and respect you.
Guys, there's an old adage, don't follow the rabbit. And in my opinion, this is one of those stories, a rabbit created and manufactured by the left. There are no sources, it's all anonymous, no evidence, no tapes. In my experience, runs contrary to what people who know President Trump know about his disposition, his love for vets, his love for the troops, his appreciation for their service. The leftist media created this story because they need to change the narrative or create a new narrative. And so we looked into Jeffrey Goldberg, the author behind this piece, who claims to have extensively sourced and entirely accurate evidence from this. We heard a lot of the same things, of course, about the dossier.
Developing right now, President Trump is now denying a blistering report in The Atlantic magazine that says the president called dead American soldiers, quote, losers and suckers during a visit to France in 2018.
The story is a hoax, and it's a disgrace. Who would say a thing like that? Only an animal would say a thing like that. Even John Bolton came out and said that was untrue.
We should note that CNN itself has not independently confirmed this report. We are joined now by the reporter behind it, Jeffrey Goldberg. He's the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, and he broke the story. Jeffrey, let me ask you your response to his denial of the story regarding the visit to the Belleau Wood battle scene outside of Paris in 2018. How do you answer those denials?
I stand by my reporting. I have multiple sources telling me this is what happened, and so I stand by it.
The Atlantic alleges through those trusty anonymous sources that the president canceled the visit because, quote, the helicopter couldn't fly. The Atlantic states the helicopter couldn't fly excuse was a lie. We have concrete, demonstrable evidence that conclusively refutes this. Here is the email sent that day. Look, the helicopter really can't fly. Bad weather call for today. United States Marine Corps military aid to the president. So I guess the anonymous source lied.
John Bolton, in his tell-all book, which was no love letter to President Trump, had a very different version. So let me just read to you how he, who was there, said that day unfolded. He said the weather was bad. Marine One's crew was saying that bad visibility could make it imprudent to chopper to the cemetery. The ceiling was not too low for Marines to fly in combat, but flying POTUS was obviously something very different. If a motorcade were necessary, it would take between 90 and 120 minutes each way. along roads that were not exactly freeways, posing an unacceptable risk that we could not get the president out of France quickly enough in the case of emergency. What's your response?
My response is, I'm sure all of those things are true.
You stupid.
I've heard from people in the Pentagon Marines who are a bit insulted that the idea that the Marines couldn't fly a helicopter in the rain.
That has been debunked. Behind me, you will see an email from one of the president's military aides that clearly reads, "We are a bad weather call for today's lift." The Atlantic reporting is based on 4 cowardly anonymous sources who probably do not even exist.
But the larger point is that Donald Trump expressed directly to senior aides his lack of desire to go to the cemetery and not to risk 90 minutes in traffic because he doesn't understand why one would go pay that level of respect to fallen American soldiers. He also, by the way, expressed directly fear that the rain, which was quite heavy at times, would mess with his hair.
Anonymous told The Atlantic POTUS didn't go to the cemetery because he didn't want to get his hair wet. Really? Well, then please explain why the next day President Trump is at another ceremony under the rain on the same trip, and explain all these other photos in the rain. Anonymous lied again.
And now, since then, Washington Post has confirmed the story with several military sources of their own saying, yes, he said it. And then the Associated Press also confirmed the story with also military sources saying, yes, he said it.
Good evening, Hogan. You were on that trip with the president in November of 2018. Is the allegation of the president maligning troops that's claimed by the anonymous sources in the Atlantic, is that true?
These are disgusting, reprehensible, grotesque lies. I was with the president in Paris. He never said that. He would never say that. In fact, this president would never even think such vile thoughts about the brave men and women of our military. I've been with him many times. I worked in the White House for 3 years. This is absolutely disgusting, the way the media is trying to smear this president, the way they would use cowardly, shady sources who don't have the guts to go on the record, and they don't, and they won't, because they know it's a flat-out lie.
Meanwhile, within hours, 10 sources, 10, went on the record debunking these lies, 8 with firsthand knowledge, stating on the record one common truth, that this story is false. It never happened.
Now, here's the breaking news. Jennifer Griffin, Fox News correspondent, has confirmed the story.
Adding to the 8 that were previously counted, I'm bringing you 2 new ones. One is from Derek Lyons, staff secretary and counselor to the president, who says this: "I was with the president the morning after the scheduled visit. He was extremely disappointed that arrangements could not be made to get him to the site and that the trip had been canceled. I have worked for the president for his entire administration. One of my responsibilities is working with him on the many letters he signs to the families of our nation's fallen heroes. In all my time at the White House," Derek writes, "I have never heard him utter a disparaging remark of any kind about our troops. In my view, he holds the brave men and women of our armed forces in the highest regard."
So she said, "I've spoken with 2 senior US officials who were on the trip to France, who confirmed to me key details in the Atlantic article and the quotes attributed to the president." That is Fox News confirming, yes, the president called fallen soldiers suckers and losers.
While not confirming the most salacious part of the story, calling American war dead suckers.
That is Fox News confirming.
That's a lie. You stupid.
While not confirming the most salacious part of the story, calling American war dead suckers, a former Trump administration official tells our own Jennifer Griffin that when the president spoke about the Vietnam War, he said, quote, "It was a stupid war. Anyone who went there was a sucker."
Suckers and losers.
Sucker.
So there's more devastating details. Now, look, I know what a terrible guy Donald Trump is, and I'm not surprised that he would say something like that, and he thinks that way. But guys, I mean, if you're a veteran and you supported this guy, he thinks you're an idiot.
There are two big, very telling and very anti-American quotes that have come from Hassan Piker this week.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
America deserved 9/11, you say. And this is coming from an Arab-descendant Muslim apologist who also co-hosts the Young Turks on YouTube. The Young Turks, of course, are named after the genocidal group who committed the Armenian atrocities. But Chink's nephew called the man who took Dan Crenshaw's eye a brave soldier. This is what happens when you're gifted a job by your uncle you know you didn't earn, and it eats away at your mental state.
It's like you didn't even make any money off the war. What, did you do it for patriotism? And then you died or you were captured? What a sucker. That's what he thinks of you.
Talking about.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying it.
There.
You stupid.
So why would a publication abandon all journalistic integrity and publish this story? It's because the liberal activists at the Atlantic are uninterested in the truth, and they are only interested in peddling conspiracy-laden propaganda. Because here is the one truth. No one, and I mean no one, loves and cares for our servicemen and women as much as President Donald J. Trump. Thank you.
Biographer Michael D'Antonio says young Donald's thirst for attention often landed him in trouble at school. It proved even too much for Fred Trump to handle. So at age 13, Donald's parents shipped him upstate to the New York Military Academy.
Many kids, of course, are desperately homesick, can't wait to go home. He apparently loved military school. He liked the kind of out front, I think, competitiveness of it. There were so many different ways that you could excel and get medals and ribbons, cleanest rooms, shiniest shoes, all that kind of stuff.
Donald Trump thrived, rising in rank, and he was socially popular with men and women.
Perfect.
Swapping frontline politics in Washington for a real conflict zone. Donald Trump and Melania visited American forces in Iraq, posing for photographs at a base to the west of Baghdad. The president even signing "Make America Great Again" caps some troops brought to the event. Not normal for a commander-in-chief with his soldiers who aren't supposed to be political.
We have some folks right now in Afghanistan, right? And I think they hear me. There's about a 6-second delay, but I think they hear me. Do you guys hear me? I think, maybe. Let's see how good we're doing. Yeah, they hear me. They hear me. They hear me. How is it over there? How's it going? Good. Go ahead. What question do you have?
On behalf of Bagram Air Base.
Go ahead.
On behalf of Bagram Air Base, we'd like to congratulate you on being elected as the new President of the United States.
Thank you very much. So nice. Thank you. By the way, I have to tell you, it's a 10-second delay, but I like them much better than I like the media, right? These are much finer people, nicer people. And we will forever be grateful for the sacrifices you made for all of us. You are the backbone of our liberty. You are the protectors of our community. And you are the proud and beating heart of our magnificent nation. There is no more important job than supporting the warriors who have fought and bled to keep us free. As you set out on your soldier ride, all of America will be cheering you on and watching. And all of America will be celebrating your strength and your tenacity and your unwavering love of your country. May God bless you. May God bless our wounded warriors. May God bless our military. And may God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.